Usually I have
Let's do it.
a audio intro, but I don't know how to play it and record everything at the same time. You know how technical difficulties are.
That's fine. Whatever.
All right.
You'll edit it later. I mean, we're
Exactly
not
right.
live. So
Exactly
who cares?
right. Alright, so everyone, hello and welcome back to the We Only Do One Take podcast, the only podcast in the world that is a complete shit show. I am Turch, and with me via Skype is absolutely my all-time favorite US-based comedian, the host of Boomer vs. Zoomer, the loudest podcast, and back in the day Science Friction, the sexiest Greek we have ever had on the show, and finally some competition for the loudest wog on the podcast. It's Asterios Kokkinos. Hello, how you doing, buddy?
Hey. Hello, Turch. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
It is absolutely surreal to have you on the show as, I guess today, my co-host, because my other co-host is, my other co-host happens to be in Vietnam at the moment.
No, I'm here. Wait, you said your other co-host what? I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
It's times like this that I wish you would do more than one take.
That's the hard bit about this stuff. But my current co-host is in Vietnam at the moment. The professor himself, he's actually a professor, which is very scary.
Is he Is he like a Vietnam War reenactor? Because that does not sound like fun.
No, he's over there for business, but he's usually a university lecturer. So he's one of the learned people on the podcast, and by that I mean we're both as dumb as each other.
Oh my! It's not hard to be a university. I gave a lecture at a university once, and I'm as dumb as paste.
Maybe I should get on board because I hear they pay very well. That's what he was telling me anyway.
Yes, yeah, of course, yes, they do, because these kids are idiots and their parents are paying for it anyway, and these kids don't understand, like, the value of money. So, oh my God, you can make so much money just talking to these stupid kids who don't want to be there in the first place. It's a great racket.
I think so. We have a subtly different system here where the government gives us a loan instead of the bank, and it's only like less than 1% interest a year. But you only start paying for it. Only start paying for it once you hit a certain threshold of income per year.
Okay.
So
do you just like lie to the government forever, and you're just like, I'm not making any money, sorry. Ugh.
Yeah, you know what? You absolutely can do that. Except it's like 40,000 or 50,000 Australian dollars, which for you guys would be like $30,000, which is nothing.
Wait, for the whole thing?
My total debt was like 30K, yeah. And once I started earning a certain value, which I'm obviously doing more than that, I'm already starting to pay back my loan.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's just weird to hear about like a government that's trying to protect and help its citizens. Like, that sounds pretty cool.
It's good, but they keep changing the threshold to be lower and lower. So at tax time, because it doesn't come out incrementally, like each pay, it comes out in a lump sum at tax time and really fucks you over.
Well, I mean, I guess you're making a lot of that podcast money over there in Australia. I'm guessing the government's really deep in your pockets for that podcast.
Well, you know, the podcast that my CEO, who is our the other co-host of the show, Kieran, hasn't set up yet.
Oh my God.
Standard sort of day. But that's not what I wanted to rant about today. I wanted to rant a little bit about the internet here in Australia. Now, we talked a little bit about this before, but do you know anything about the internet here in Australia?
Well, I mean, so, like, do you guys have, like, a pipe that kind of runs underneath the entire ocean? Or, like, are you guys using, like, weird, shitty satellites? Or, like, how are you guys doing it?
I think it's a pipe. And I think this is where the problem is. So we have a new government initiative here, because the lines for the internet, like, you know, the cabling and stuff, is run and owned by the government.
Yes.
Which means everything is about 50 years old technology. And when we
Oh,
do get a
no.
new initiative, it's still old because the government's about 10 years, 20 years behind everybody else.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's really rough. Like, is there any way around it at all? Can you fly a kite that has like a key attached to it, and then if lightning strikes you can download your porno? Like, is there any workaround?
I would love to say yes.
Oh
But
no!
that's just one of those things that we just can't work around as of yet. But we have this new system which is apparently meant to change the cabling from copper wire to fiber, whatever that stuff's called, and it's apparently meant to be faster. But currently, Asterios, you'd be happy to know that we are ranked
Yes.
55th in the world for internet speeds.
Well, and that's interesting because only 45 countries in the world have the internet. So
You know
that's
what?
terrible.
It's pretty sad to hear that we are below Kazakhstan.
Yes. No, I mean, you poor guys. Like, look, you guys have a lot going for you. You're all attractive for some reason.
Thank you.
I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys can't afford food over there or something, but you all look like you're starving in a good way. B, you guys got Goon of Fortune. Now, we don't have Goon of Fortune here. We don't have Goon at all, let alone some sort of wheel that spins it and that deposits fortune or misfortune. Good on
Have
you.
you ever had the fortune of playing Goon of Fortune?
No, I want to so bad.
So
I have no idea how much as soon as I heard about it.
Where did you hear about it?
Because my fucking I don't even remember at this point. But I've read the whole Wikipedia page for Goon of Fortune has like a very long Wikipedia page, like longer than some U.S. presidents.
Yeah, it's an
just
amazing game. I don't know. Well, the clothes, what's called the Hills Hoist, which is to hang your washing out on. That was an Australian invention.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
And Goon.
Good job.
And Goon, which is the worst white wine you can have, is in a bag. Also is an Australian invention.
Yeah, I've heard that it's mostly sugar with a little bit of alcohol in it. Like, I've heard that it's just like an instant hangover in a floppy plastic bag.
Yeah, lots of
Which
girls
to me
drink
sounds great. I'm just like, yeah.
Lots of girls drink it here, but they mix it with orange juice.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a real
my
thing
God.
that happens.
Well, that just shows you how far away from wine it is. It's not even on the same planet as wine. You can mix it with orange juice.
And it's never... you're right, it gives you the worst hangovers. I think they're worse hangovers than when, you have a tequila hangover, and that's pretty bad. Goon is the worst, like 10 times worse than the tequila hangover.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm very, very jealous. What else am I jealous of over in Australia? Like, I mean, you guys had, what's his name? Who played Nero in Star Trek 2009? Did you guys have that guy? Who's like an Australian sketch comedy star?
Nero, in which film, sorry?
It's Star Trek 2009. You guys, what's his name? Goddamn. Anyway.
Eric Bana.
Yes, yeah, you guys have the Incredible Hulk, Eric Bana. In my mind, the best Hulk.
I think
and
so.
Then
you know what? I'm going to give you a bit of history about Eric Bana. He used to start in a comedy show here and was actually a comedic actor and an actual comedian as well.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And it's fantastic.
Yes,
but if you
that's
want to see a film with Eric Bana, that's a pure Australian film. It's called The Castle, and it is a bloody cracker of a film, and that is Australians to a T.
Oh, all right, I'll check it out. See, I've always liked that guy because it's like, yeah, I heard he was like a sketch comedy guy or like a sitcom guy. Yeah. And then he comes to America and everyone's just like, you're very handsome. We're going to start putting you in like actual movies. Like, you don't have to wear silly costumes anymore.
A lot of the crossover guys that come over to the US from Australia are like, come from terrible TV shows and terrible stuff like that. Like Hugh Jackman, before he was famous on your end, was in musicals, and he still does that sort of stuff now. And
okay. Yeah. Oh, Chris Hemsworth and the other Hemsworth too.
Yeah. Both of them were on a terrible television show called Home and Away, which is like Days of Our Lives for teenagers.
That's fucking great. Like, man, okay. Do you got... Now, all my Canadian friends are just like, Canadian television is terrible. It's the worst. Is there like one good Australian television show, or is it all just garbage and you all just watch American shows?
We're really good at certain things, I think. Have you ever heard of a show...
Pornography?
Well...
Is it pornography? Are you good at pornography?
I told you the internet here is terrible, so no. One of the shows that...
God damn it!
One of the shows that we have, one of these actors is named Chris Lilly. Now, he's an Australian comedian.
You mean the guy who's currently in a blackface scandal, which I should not be screaming. But no. I just did.
Yes, blackface scandal. About 10 to 15 years ago, he did another show about the Australian of the Year, and it's called Australian of the Year, A Week Could Be Heroes, sorry. And he actually pretended to be an Asian man doing a musical performance dressed as an Aboriginal man. So this white guy dressed as an Asian, put on an Asian accent, then pretended to be on stage in the show an Aboriginal man.
Now, does that cancel each other out? Is it like so racist that it goes all the way back around to woke? Your response, sir.
I'm not sure, because this show was shown on our, I guess, public broadcasting network, the ABC, which is government funded. So this whole show went through back 15 years ago, went through all the right channels to get ticked off. So he could pretend to be a white man pretending to be an Asian man pretending to be an Aboriginal, and the government said that was okay 15 years ago.
And your tax money went to fund it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're all complicit. You're all guilty of sin.
That's
your
fine
hands
by
are
me.
all dirty. Yeah. Okay,
Well,
but I heard that yes.
Oh, go.
Oh, I heard that like a month ago he did blackface on HBO and it upset people. I hear that he's back to his old tricks.
Well, I was just watching a couple of the episodes it's on Netflix for us. It's called Lunatics, and it's actually not bad.
Well, I mean, that guy's funny. Like, you can be funny and also do something racist.
Why not?
I just asked my uncle.
That's it.
Like,
now, look, I was listening to your latest...
Chris Lilly kid, yeah.
I was listening to your latest episode of Boomer vs. Zoomer with Mumkey Jones over there, and it's seriously one of my favorite shows.
Thank you.
One of my favorite shows.
Thank you for listening. We need listeners.
I downloaded it twice just so you get the listens. That's how dedicated I am.
Oh my God! In Australia, that probably takes 5 days.
It does.
Does like somebody deliver it to you on a horse on like a floppy disk?
You know what? It would probably be easier than the way we have to do it. We have to like stand on top of the roof, one leg out to the side, you know, with the aerial antennas, the rabbit ears. It's a nightmare.
No wonder you guys are all in such great shape. You've got amazing core strength.
That's it.
From all your interneting.
But you were talking about working at coffee shops, and your partner Sriracha loves working at coffee shops because she can't go on Kiwi Farms and 4chan and all the fun sites.
Yes.
Well, guess what, Asterios?
That's true. Yes.
Even in my own home, I, as an Australian, using an ISP, cannot go to those sites because the government, after the Christchurch shooting, has blocked it.
Wait a minute, but that happened in New Zealand, and you guys hate those people.
We do.
Like,
I must admit.
if I'm the Australian government, aren't I going to, like, double access to these sites?
Well, because we, solidarity and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, solidarity.
Every ISP has decided to permanently block sites like Kiwi Farm, 4chan, 8chan, all that. All the sites that I've been looking at since I was about 13 years old. They've officially blocked.
Oh my God.
So
now where will you get pure uncut racism? Where will you find it? I mean, I guess Chris Lilly.
Chris Lilly, Boomer versus Zoomer podcast, just the standard places.
The regular, the old, the usual suspects.
That's
yes.
right. But anyway,
okay,
yes. That is how bad the internet is here. One, we've got an average speed of 5.6 megabytes. You in America have about 16.2. And two, we cannot go to these great websites.
Okay, but I'm going to say this back to you. If our internet is only 3 times as good as you, what the fuck is wrong with us? I mean,
that's true. You're ranked 20th. You're ranked 20th in the world.
Yeah, we're supposed to be number 1. We've got the most obesity. Like, I'm sure we have the most STDs, and if not, I'm working on it personally. I'm trying to get our numbers up. USA, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Because one time, people listeners will always be listeners will write me and they'll be like, I'm from New Zealand, and I'll just write back, yeah, fuck Australia. Or they'll say, I'm from Australia, and I'll write back, yeah, fuck New Zealand. Just whatever side will get me whatever side will get me the most Patreon money. But somebody heard me making fun of New Zealand on a podcast because I was talking to an Australian guy like you. And he immediately terminated his Patreon pledge to me. He was like, I heard what you said about New Zealand and I can't support you financially. Do you guys really take this that seriously over there?
I don't, because I think because Australians just know naturally we are better than New Zealand. Also, I don't really worry. Maybe the New Zealand people have a bigger issue with it, but as an Australian, we just know we're naturally better.
How the hell did this start? Did you guys get into some pissing match 500 years ago over who could fuck the most emus?
Well, the Emu War is a completely different story, and we won't talk about that. We'll talk about a different war called World War I. Now, do you know what the Anzacs were?
Well, I've eaten the cookies, and let me tell you, they're really good. And the thing is, a dude sent me some Anzac cookies, and it took 2 months to get here. They get here, they still taste delicious.
Well,
I'm like, fucking goddamn it! Our doughboys in World War I were eating pretty.
Well, those guys, they were made back in Australia and then sent to where we were in Gallipoli. Now we were fighting against the Turkish back in the day, and the Anzacs includes both Australians and New Zealand. That's what the A and the NZ sort of stand for in that name. So we actually fought together, but I think there's always going to be that rivalry.
I heard you were fighting against the Turkish in Gallipoli.
That's it. And I think sending the rations out because we were fighting with the New Zealand people. That's what ANZAC sort of stands for. Australian New Zealand Army Corps. So we were fighting together as a group. But I think with any sort of, I'm from this country, you're from this country, we're working together, but there's still always going to be that rivalry. I'm sure America has a million of those.
I mean, you guys know that to the rest of the world, you guys look and sound identical, right? I mean, I'm sure that's pretty racist, the thing I just said, but I guess I'm just going to have to live with that. I guess I'm just kind of a racist. To all of us, it's like you guys are fighting over, it's like you guys are in the fucking kiddie pool fighting over who gets to play with the Fisher-Price water gun. Hey, get your shit together. China's eating our lunch. You guys gotta put aside your differences over here. We got real problems.
Nah, it's fun. It's fun.
I mean, not you guys. It seems like you guys are living in paradise, but here in America, we're all fucked all the time, forever.
Well, you've got to come down to Australia then, and live amongst the peoples down here.
I know. I need to. Oh my god, I really want to go to New Zealand to do a comedy show. Just because, I have a lot of, for some reason, I have a lot of listeners in New Zealand, and I'm just kind of I don't know why, but I fucking appreciate. Look, there's at least somebody wants me around.
Oh, that's
It's
it.
like it's $2,000 goddamn dollars to get down there. Holy moly!
Yeah, it's even more expensive for us because our dollar is terrible.
Oh, what is it like? Is it like made of balsa wood or something? Like, does it easily crack or bend?
No, well, we've actually got better physical dollar notes than you guys because you guys have just got paper. Ours are like it's like plasticated. You can get them wet and they don't break. You can't actually rip them in half. They're actually really good. We're world leading in that regard.
Did you guys spend so much money on your money that now your money is worthless?
Yeah, it's like your pennies.
Because that's not good. Ooh, you poor guys. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wait, are you guys the country where people are turning your monetary notes into little pictures of Mr. Spock from Star Trek?
Potentially. It sounds like something we would do.
Okay.
It sounds like something we would do.
I'm Googling this real quick. And if you wouldn't mind looking it up too, and we'll see whose internet is faster, I'd like you to look up
I'm so
the
scared
phrase.
that I'm going to do this now and our connection's going to drop out again.
Okay, hold on. Spocking your money. Okay, let's see if you guys were spocking your money. No, not spackling. Oh my God, now Google's trying to get me into spackling. S-P-O-C-K-I-N-G, spocking. Spocking your money. Oh, that was Canada. Yeah, apparently like the people were doing stuff to the bills to make the Canadian Prime Minister look like Spock. Again, I am sorry. If it's not America, I just consider it other. Like, just like miscellaneous other country. And again, that's my privilege and racism showing.
Well, here's a good one. Here's a good one for you. This is Australian money. If you type in Australian money whale penis, the first result is from Reddit, and it's telling you how to fold an Australian $5 note in a certain way that it looks like it's a whale sucking a cock.
And you're telling me your money is worthless. That's the most valuable thing I've ever heard in my life. In America, we have this weird pyramid on the back of our dollar, and it's like, we don't have any pyramids in America.
That's true.
There's not like, in New Jersey, here's a bunch of fucking pyramids. Like, no, that's
Las
weird.
Vegas?
We got plenty of whale dicks. Is there? No, they have a Statue of Liberty in Las Vegas.
Fair enough.
I remember they don't have a pyramid.
I remember going to Italy with my family because my family's from Italy, and obviously we hate the Greeks because that's just the way it works.
That's how it is.
That's just how it is. But we were there, and we were in Venice, and it's beautiful in Venice. The canal's beautiful. My parents were speaking Italian. It's amazing. And then we saw two Americans there, and they looking over this bridge, looking at the canals, looking at the gondolas. Amazing. And they go, "Oh, we have this in Las Vegas. It's the same."
Are you serious? Really?
That's
the most American thing I've ever heard.
So we were in the actual place where it started, and they were comparing it to Las Vegas.
That is so stupid. I probably said it. Like, that's how you know it's stupid, when it's like an unsuccessful American stand-up comedian could have said this. My goodness gracious.
So a lot of our listeners may not know who you are, Asterios. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a background on how I got involved with your comedy and all that sort of stuff. And if I get anything wrong,
good.
Please let me know.
You'll be fine. There's not too much to say.
So I heard
I
heard about you from The Biggest Problem in the Universe back in the day, where I heard the story of you on Let's Make a Deal, where that's one of my favorite stories of all time.
Yeah, that's a true story.
And I can't look at Wayne Brady the same.
No, luckily, this is what and for listeners, like, just in case you don't know the story, and I can't imagine that you haven't heard this incredible tale. But I went on Let's Make a Deal, and I kind of made a big joke out of the entire thing. Like, they gave me a live microphone, and so I just kind of started making fun of everyone and everything. And then they were like, you won a hot tub. And I said, like, out loud on national television, like, wow, a hot tub. I'm a renter, so I definitely can't install this hot tub. Like, my landlord won't let me install this hot tub, but this is awesome. Now I have an $8,000 clothes hamper. Thanks so much for this hot tub will go really well in my studio apartment. Maybe I'll throw out my bed and sleep in this hot tub. And Wayne Brady was, like, furious with me and called me like, like the producers came over and they were like, you're acting like an asshole. You really upset Wayne Brady. And I was like, oh.
I'll find a link for it and put it in our description for this episode because it is a piece of art. But since then, you've been on the Dick Show. You beat Maddox in a lawsuit. That's I'm sure there's more fun to come, and I'm sure we can't talk about that too much going forward.
You're goddamn right we can't. But I mean, you know, the long and the short of that is that some internet troll sued me for making fun of him too much, and in America, that's like one of the few joys we have left is like making fun of someone.
Oh, please give my compliments to your lawyer because it was a joy to read his documents.
Oh yeah, my lawyer is a better comedy writer than I am, and he makes more money too. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Okay, so you're also the greatest boxer in the world, in my opinion.
Like. Wait, what?
You're also the greatest boxer in the world, in my opinion, beating the ex-moderator of the Donald Reddit page.
That also happens. I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, and so me and one of the moderators from the world's worst pro Donald Trump website met up at a MMA gym at 4 a.m, and we punched each other like two drunk toddlers.
It was great.
Fighting to a draw because neither of us could fight, so nobody wins. So everybody lost that night. I've had a pretty weird life, and now like I'm doing on Boomer versus Zoomer. I recently lost a bet. I said that there was no way that we'd be able to double our downloads in a week, and I said if we could double our downloads in a week, I would go sober for a year. And we didn't double them; we tripled them. And so,
which is amazing.
And now, I mean, it's great for somebody, but I'm walking by like all these super cool bars in Brooklyn right now as I'm talking to you, and it's just so upsetting seeing all these cool young girls having a hot, happening time. Everybody's dancing and walking on sunshine. Their tight capri pants and their platform shoes, and I'm literally standing outside in the rain watching these kids have fun with their alcohol and drugs.
It's good, mate.
And what do I have?
I'm very proud of you. Already losing 15 pounds in the hashtag Boomer vs. Zoomer weight loss challenge. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I mean, that's the other thing is like that's a pretty clear indicator of just how much I was drinking. In that, like. In the months since I stopped drinking, I've lost 15 pounds.
It's great.
Like, I guess, you never realize how much you're drinking until you shoot your mouth off on a podcast and have to stop. Like, it's, but if everybody had a podcast, then there'd be no more alcoholics if you think of, like, I should sell this, what I should do.
It's pretty good.
I should find a way, forget Alcoholics Anonymous, like, alcoholics, easily identifiable alcoholics. That's me, because I'm Asterios Kokkinos. Say that name all the time on my podcast. There's pictures of me on the internet.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've never understood Alcoholics Anonymous because the first thing you do is say, "Hi, I'm blank."
Oh my God, you're fucking right.
It's not anonymous at all.
And look, it's definitely not anonymous for me because it's not like there's two guys named Asterios.
Well,
I mean, maybe in Greece, but not here in America.
Well, there's definitely no two people with my surname here in Australia. We've confirmed that with the rest of the family. Everyone here with my surname is related to me.
Yeah.
That's
I looked up
for you.
No, I know that feel because like I looked up all the Asterios on Facebook and it's like, oh, there's my cousin Asterios and my uncle Asterios.
And finally, recently, apart from the Boomer vs. Zoomer podcast, which I suggest that everyone check out, You starred in
They
Mumkey
should.
Jones Stops the School Shooter, which is the first thing I got my girlfriend to watch when I said,
no.
we're introducing... Let me introduce you to
Oh,
both
no.
Mumkey Jones and to Asterios Kokkinos. 2 birds with 1 stone, 20-minute video, easy. And this is her actual quote. She stated that was the worst thing I've ever seen, but I do like Asterios.
Hey! You know what? I'll take it.
I'll take
fucking
it.
take it.
She doesn't even
Yeah,
say
look.
that about me.
Well, look, I mean, the shit that you probably put her through. Oh my God. Can you imagine anything worse than dating a comedian? Because I can't.
Well, I'm actually an accountant.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that helps.
Look, at least you know where money is. It may not be yours.
True.
But like you're near money every day, and doesn't that kind of count a little bit?
It pays the bills. It allows me to talk to cool people like yourself on the internet.
Well then you're doing a great job.
That's
Then
it.
I'm proud of you. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much. And I hope that we have lots of more fun. But this is something I really wanted to talk to you about. Real deep issues here.
I'm listening.
New Star Wars trailer was out. And I'm sure you saw it.
Yes.
And
I
look,
sure did.
I wasn't impressed with the latest 2 Star Wars, and I've never really been a huge Star Wars fan, but, you got to go see him. Cultural phenomenon, this and that. But George Lucas is going to be part of the new writing team for the latest film. Or he has been.
What? Are you
It's a real
serious?
thing. He's been a consultant.
That's it. Okay.
Which is good.
Well, can I tell you what I think is actually happening?
What do you think?
I think that they paid George Lucas a lot of money to email them ideas that they will put directly in the trash and not tell anyone that they put his ideas in the trash.
Well, I hope
Yes.
I hope that they do put them straight into the trash, simply because this article came out this week from ScreenRant.com. And apparently George Lucas has confirmed that in all of Star Wars, every single thing that's happened, his favourite character is Jar Jar Binks.
Do you think that he's just like trolling us at this? I mean, that sounds like a billionaire who kind of can't feel anymore unless he's upsetting people. Like the only joy and pleasure he has left in life is upsetting the people that liked him in the 70s and 80s and then viciously turned on him in the 90s and 2000s.
Do you think it started with Howard the Duck? Or do you think it started with the Star Wars stuff? The new Star Wars, like Episode 1?
I mean, I honestly think that the thing is that he didn't have anybody. It's like when you're literally everybody's boss, then like nobody tells you something nobody tells you what you're doing is bad. Yeah, and why would you? It's kind of like, what's in it for you? Like the thing people don't understand about America is that like we live fucking paycheck to paycheck over here because we kind of live in like this terribly ruined corporatocracy. Like we live in like a world where, like everybody, like half of our population at least is like 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. Like that's just how it is over here. We fucked it up. We really fucked this country. Like we really fucked this country up. And so, like, what is it? Why it is in absolutely nobody's best interest to tell George Lucas, you should not do that. You should not do this, or you should not have Jar Jar Binks, or you should not do that. It's like, because then they lose their job and they lose their house and they end up homeless and they can't feed their kids and all this bull. It's just like, what's in it for you to stand up? Why not just nod and smile and continue to collect your paycheck?
Sure. Especially at a movie at that higher level where there's probably so much cash just sitting around ready to be given out to people. You'd be laughing, not just to go, yes, next Jar Jar Binks scene.
Yeah, look, I work in advertising, and at some point, if the client wants to do something bad, it's like, I don't know, you bring up once, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. And then the client's like, no, I want to do it though. And then you're like, okay, it's your money. Like, I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like, a bad commercial is made. And what is Star Wars, but not like a long toy commercial? Like, that's what stuff. Like, these are fucking kids' movies. They're movies where with like laser swords and puppets and magic powers. Like, these are movies for babies. But I was reading an article today about the development of Star Trek Phase 2. Star Trek Phase 2 was it was a follow-up to Star Trek that was going to come out in the 70s. And Paramount hired Gene Roddenberry to pretty much just like sit in an office and write ideas that they didn't use. And the reason they did that was so that fans would be like, oh, yay, they've got the master, Gene Roddenberry, back. This thing will be good. Because, like, there's this dumb fucking thought meme out there that, like, oh, George Lucas is, like, he knows what he's doing. Like, the reason that Episode 8 was bad was because they didn't listen to George Lucas. And it's like, well, that's complete horseshit. That's, like, total horseshit. But there's like a very virulent online part of the fan base that, like, they think George Lucas got screwed when he sold his property for $4 billion.
No, I think George Lucas sold one Star Wars and Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
There was only one company that could really buy them. And
right.
that is Disney. There's no one else. There's no one bigger.
Yeah.
But I think that was one very calculated by George himself, because I think at this point he was so sick of the fans. I think the selling of Lucasfilms was the backlash. That's my conspiracy theory.
No, I've heard that. I've heard that, like, oh, he was only doing it to troll. But the thing is, it's like Disney at the time was also making Marvel movies, and those movies are good. Like, it's not like Disney is known for turning out crap. Sony is known for turning out crap.
Oh, yeah,
Warner Brothers is known for turning out crap.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Disney is, they're fine. They're not great. They're not terrible. It's fucking Disney. What do you want?
Disney do certain things super, super well. But I think they've always bought stuff that they've had, they've always made films and stuff like that they've had for a long time. Like the Marvel stuff they've had for 20 years to sort of get right. Maybe even longer.
That's your numbers are a little off there, unfortunately. Yeah. Interestingly, Iron Man was made before Disney bought Marvel.
Oh, really?
Iron Man was made, and they started making all these movies and building up the Avengers thing, and then Disney came in after they were like a proven property and scooped them up.
Sounds about right. That sounds like Disney. It's a good business model.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's an amazing. I mean, fucking Microsoft did the same thing with, think about Skype.
Yeah.
We're talking on Skype
We're talking on Skype right now. Skype gods.
Skype worked back in the 90s, and so Microsoft was like, "Yeah, we're gonna." Yeah, please don't fuck it up. And then Microsoft was just like, "Yeah, we'll buy Skype," and now Skype's our thing. And it's the same fucking thing with Minecraft. It's like a guy makes Minecraft. It's a good game that already works. And Microsoft's like, now Minecraft's we'll pay you $2 billion for this thing that works. It's amazing. It's not hard to make hits when you have more money than God. You can buy something that's already working.
Can you imagine if someone like Google ends up buying one of these large organizations already that's not tech related, like they start making media or something like that? Talk about the ability just to force it into your face all the time. That's mass marketing at a scale we'll never see. Hopefully never see, because that'll just be torturous.
Well, interestingly, that's why Google bought YouTube. Like, YouTube was another thing that worked. Like, YouTube was a great website, and then Google was like, we're going to buy that, and now we'll be in control of this, and we'll be in control of that. And, like, but Google has no, it's like being the porn star with the world's biggest dick, but you don't know how to fuck. Like, Google does not know how to run YouTube.
No, I think it's a loss for them every single year, isn't it? Like, that's almost like the tax offset. They lose all this cash, and they write it off, and they pay less taxes.
They say that is like the Google company line that, like, oh, YouTube loses money. But that's another dirty secret about the entertainment business, is that, like, I mean, you know this as an accountant, like famously, Gone with the Wind has still not turned a profit.
Yep.
Using Hollywood math. Like, Gone with the Wind, the most successful, like, adjusted for inflation, it is the most profitable and successful movie of all time, and it has made $0.
Yep.
Because, like, you can always find a way to hide those profits or write them off, you know? Like so companies like Google and fucking Facebook and Amazon made, what is it, like $3.2 trillion last year and paid $0 in taxes? Because they're just like, yeah, fuck you.
I'll be very clear about this, and we've said this many times on this podcast. Revenue is very different to profit.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. You know, that's a very good point.
And I think a lot of people get caught up in that. They go say, yep, Amazon made $3.2 billion in revenue, but, you know, take away all their expenses, take away all their money, all the salaries, all the lawsuits, which I'm sure occur because it's a large organization. And after that, then the profit is the only thing you pay taxes on. And that's the thing of it. And they're still paying payroll taxes. I mean, I think that's a bit of a rort, coming from a tax guy. But that's a bit of a rort, in my opinion. But, you know, it's scary that people still can't see the difference. And I think it's never clearly explained unless you really work in that industry.
Well, I mean, but don't you think that if they really wanted to turn a profit, they could? Like,
oh, yeah.
The reason they're, like, in this state of, like, never-ending expansion, and, like, Bezos is, like, what does Bezos make, like, $1 million a day? Like, you know, the reason that they're not turning a profit is because it's not taxably advantageous for them to, you know? Like, instead, they just, like, I assume they just kind of keep it, you know, as stock forever. Or they hide it. They do some bullshit. I don't know. Look, if you can deliver
I'm
me
absolutely
a fucking...
happy.
Yeah?
I'm absolutely happy with these companies using any loophole they can to save money. Because at the end of the day, the first thing that people come up to when they're coming to get their taxes done, they talk to me, and the first thing they say is, "How do I pay less tax?" And if you're a big organization. True. You know, it's the same for the little guy, and I try to save them as much money and give the least amount of money to the government as I possibly can. And it's the same for the big guys. The difference is the small guys have to pay me, and I'm okay. The big guys get to pay hundreds of accountants that specialize in separate lines of the tax code to get around these loopholes and interpret them differently. And that's the difference. If you had more money, if you had millions and millions of dollars coming in each year, you're goddamn right you'd have an accountant that would get you go through so many tax loopholes that you'd be paying no tax.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I mean, that's why everybody always supports just the concept of low taxes. It's like nobody wants to pay their taxes. Like, nobody likes paying taxes. Nobody likes paying for anything. You know, like taxes are not.
It's true. It's true. It's I think taxes are one of those things because you can't physically see what you've purchased. It's very easy to go into a shop and say, "Yep, I'm going to buy a table. I'm going to buy a desk. I'm going to buy I'm a guitarist as well." It's easy to go, "I'm going to spend a couple of grand on a guitar." You can physically take it home. That's why a lot of people don't like to buy stock because they can't physically see it.
Interesting.
Very hard to physically see what your taxes are being spent on because one, you don't physically see what you're seeing, like, my $100 went here, and two, you don't even get a piece of paper saying your $100 will be spent on X. I think more people will be happy if they get their tax return and they say, your part of your taxes is going towards hospitals or you know,
Yes.
public schools or something like that. And then I think more people will be happy with their return.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like, so much of it is, like, for me, it's the reason I want Amazon to pay their taxes, because it's like, it's like they have the privilege of, like, all being able to live in, like, Fortress America. We have this giant military for no reason. Like, the only reason we have this giant military is so we can act like huge assholes and no one can invade us. Like, that's it. Like, that's why we have it. It's like you need a good home security system if you have a lot of enemies. And like in America, like, we act like assholes to everyone all the time. So it's kind of like, hey, can you fucking chip in for the security bill here?
Mm-hmm.
Amazon.com. Like Jeff Bezos, you get the fucking privilege of living in this fucking country where you can walk down the street and not get shot for looking at somebody cockeyed. I mean, he doesn't live in Florida. If he did, that wouldn't be the case. But it's just like, hey, come on, like, help keep the lights on. It's like Jeff Bezos is like a terrible roommate. Like, hey, buddy, it's just time to pay the cable bill.
I look at it differently, only because I live in Australia and we are meant to pay America to help protect us, and we don't.
Oh yeah.
And
good for you guys.
Thank you very much. And I think we'll continue not to, because we can get away with it because we're cool. And you guys come here to holiday and you have fun on our fun beaches and stuff like that. And you take all our really attractive male people and make them the, all the male actors that we have that are really attractive and good looking, and you make that the standard of male attractiveness in America.
Oh my God! It's those Hemsworths. It's just like, we had to fucking import those guys. We don't have anybody that looks that good, let alone two guys that are related that look that. It's like, holy fucking moly! No shit, we. I think the best
thing about them is not only are they quite very attractive, they're not too bad of actors, and they're actually really funny.
No. Yes, I like them a lot. I genuinely like. I liked Chris Hemsworth in Thor 1, and he gets better and better in every goddamn movie. And he's the best part of Lady Ghostbusters, which was like a terrible film. It's like, but Chris Hemsworth is up there fucking acting his ass off, and he's like fucking putting in the work, and he's trying to make this goddamn movie funny. Like, but that's the thing. Like, immigrants come to America and they just outwork us citizens who take it for granted. Like, God bless them.
We try.
Good old-fashioned immigrant labor. Yeah, you're killing it. I love it.
Well, come over here and work less with us in Australia. That's the Australian way. It can always be done tomorrow. Time for a smoko break. Do you know what a smoko break is?
I assume is that cigarettes or weed or some kind of weed
cigarette. Yeah, so it's mainly for tradies, like people that work in trades like construction or builders and stuff like that. But they go, oh, I'm going to go have a smoko. And that means you go have a cigarette for 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
and
my God. Yeah, we can't.
And it's like a social thing. So people go, yeah, I'll have a smoko as well. But now that smoking has sort of been, on the the fringes of society, now it's gone, it transitioned to a coffee break. Especially in the office space.
Okay, look.
So suddenly, we have 15-minute coffee breaks every 3 hours, 2 hours.
Look, as long as you can somehow screw your boss with something, I'm happy. Like, cigarette, like, kill yourself with caffeine, kill yourself with nicotine. Just kill yourself with something and get the fuck out of the office. Like, in America, we would all snitch on each other. Like, we can't take smoking breaks, coffee breaks, or anything else, because, like, someone is always sucking up to the boss with, like, hey, that guy's out there smoking instead of working with us. It's just, America's like this weird prison planet. It's just like, everybody's constantly stabbing each other in the back. It's like a real life, like soap opera over here. Like, everybody's constantly stabbing each other in the back, stealing money from each other.
I'll tell you the Australian trick. The trick is, when you go get a coffee, you just go, I'm going to go grab a coffee. Hey, does anyone want one? And people feel so guilty because they're like, oh, we don't want you to buy us a coffee, but you can still go and get your coffee.
Oh, that's really goddamn smart. God damn it. You guys really have it fucking figured out down. Jesus Christ.
Well, speaking of comedians,
Yep.
and I'm obviously not one, we're talking about some government stuff. I found this, and I have because of this article, I have very high hopes for you, Asterios.
I'm listening.
The Ukraine election just occurred,
Yes, it sure did.
and comedian Zelensky wins the presidency by a landslide. 73% of the vote. Volodymyr Zelensky is now the official president of the Ukraine, and he's a comedian. He's trained as a lawyer. He's an Instagram follower with 4.2 million followers. He's a millionaire as well, but he's done some other stuff. But he's first and foremost a comedian. So when is the Asterios Kokkinos campaign starting?
I don't think I have the $200 it would take to file to run for president. Like, there's some sort of ridiculous fee. Like, maybe I could put that across 6 different credit cards.
To start.
But I'm really glad to hear that, like, we're no longer the dumbest. We no longer have made the dumbest electoral decision, because everybody over in fucking Ukraine was like, because his thing was he was starring as the president on a sitcom.
Yeah.
Called like Man of the People or The People's Humble Servant or some shit. And then everyone's like, well, that guy's a great TV president. I'm sure he'd be a great real president too. And it's just like we made that same mistake with Donald Trump, where everyone was like, well, we see him on this show called The Apprentice, and he's firing people, and he keeps saying the word business over and over. This guy must be good at business. And if there's any problem, he'll probably fire them.
True.
And it's like, oh no. But it's like, the only thing dumber than a reality TV star is a comedian. And you guys, not you guys, but Ukraine, it's a real relief that now I can laugh at someone else's misery, because this is going to be a goddamn disaster. Wait, is their prime minister like ceremonial or something? Like, does all he have to do is like kiss babies and like pet dogs?
Well,
because I would do that.
He's the president, and I'm just trying to have a look here. Political novice, best known for you're like I don't know, he wants to reboot peace talks with the separatists fighting in the Ukraine forces. So, I mean, that's not really ceremonial.
Yeah, but people hate reboots.
It's true.
Like nobody, everybody hated the new Star Wars movies. I mean, you were just talking about how they were terrible. And those are all fucking soft reboots. You know, Australia's coolest guy, Eric Bana, starred in those Star Trek reboots that nobody likes.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. But that's... Yeah. No, well, look, at least America is good at just keeping a leader in for like X amount of time. Because since your Barack Obama to Donald Trump, you had one election and that was it. We've had in that space of time 5 prime ministers.
You guys can't make up your mind? What the hell's happening?
Well,
what the fuck is happening over there?
Because you elect a person to be in power, right?
Yeah.
We elect a political party, which means if they go, the CEO of the political party is now this bloke or this lady, we just swap and change, and we have no choice in who actually becomes the person in power.
Oh, okay. So you guys are like voting for like a brand or a logo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not a person.
Pretty much.
Ooh,
So we have like
the
Labour, we have Liberals, we have the Greens, we have, and we sort of just go... pretty much like your electoral college, we vote for our section, like who we want in our section, and that adds up to the votes in certain, in the top end of town. But then the party who gets the most, regions becomes the political party in power, and then we just go forward and hope that they don't change every 4 months.
Okay, that sounds kind of confusing, like this kind of weird bait and switch, like mail order bride thing, where you don't know who's going to be your president. Like, what if you have a really ugly president, and then you got to see that guy on TV all day?
Yeah,
that sounds rough.
We had a gentleman named Tony Abbott, and if you ever want to watch a great video, it's Tony Abbott at like a farm somewhere, and he eats a raw onion with the skin on in front of everyone to show that he's one of the people.
Yeah, I've
And
heard
this
about
man was
the
our
onion
prime
guy.
minister.
Yeah. No wonder you guys have 5 elections in fucking 2 years. God damn it. It's like, yeah,
Well,
you got an
no
onion eater in
elections.
charge.
Just swapping the leader of the party, and they can do that whenever they want. Really,
Wow.
incredible.
Yeah, no, that's... I
Complete
mean,
shit show.
have you guys ever had any hot prime ministers? Like any wankable PMs? Like, because this... Yeah, but I can see him in my head, and I have no idea. Like, I'm guessing he's like a short, pudgy, bald guy who probably like wears suits that are too small. Is that true?
The current one is Scott Morrison, and we nickname him ScoMo. Actually,
Okay.
And he is just as boring as you think he would be.
Oh, is he hot at least? I mean, it's okay if someone's boring if they're hot.
No, I would. I don't. To my knowledge,
Because look,
no one attractive.
Look, that New Zealand Prime Minister lady, that lady who's on TV like banning guns and stuff, she's pretty hot. Could you guys just get her? Could you like draft her?
No, maybe. I don't know how.
Yeah.
No, because the last thing we would want, going back to New Zealand and Australia, the last thing we would want is a New Zealand person in charge of Australia.
But she's so fuckable. Like if you just close your eyes, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Well, well, she just had a baby.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I didn't know that. Sorry. I didn't know that. Pass.
Down the tube.
No. You're right. That was stupid. I apologize.
That's where we're like, yeah, maybe we'll hold off on that one there just for now. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Asterios, it's been about an hour, and I know that you've got other fantastic and more important things to do than talk to an Australian in the it's not really early morning here, but early morning nonetheless, and late evening for you. I'm sure you've got other things to do. So before you go...
Unfortunately, I do. But yes, what do you got? Talk to me.
Well, before you go, I'd just like to make sure that you can plug all the stuff that you're doing, because I love it all, and I try to listen to it all, but there's just not enough hours in the day sometimes. But what's coming up for Asterios over there?
Well, I mean, look, if you enjoyed hearing me on this podcast, then you'd probably really enjoy my show, The Loudest Podcast. It's a show where me and another comedian named Sriracha, we talk about extremely normcore issues, but we're both super weirdos. So we'll talk a lot about the Big Bang Theory or Survivor. We'll talk about what were we just? We'll talk about what's the what the bases are in sex, and we'll talk about dating app strategies, and it's the most normal topics discussed by the weirdest, craziest people. And you can find it on iTunes if you just look for The Loudest Podcast. We're on Spotify, Google Play, all of them, Overcast, or you can just go to theloudestpodcast.com. And thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, this was heaps of fun. That Loudest Podcast, I would love to be a guest one day, but that's a pie-in-the-sky dream sometimes for a small podcast here in Australia. But Jesus Christ, I love listening to it. And obviously, Boomer versus Zoomer, let's get those numbers up and keep us up to date with all the weight loss that's occurring, because you are looking fantastic, especially with that sexy haircut.
Thank you.
And you better come down to Australia one day. We have we have a comedy festival here that happens every year, and I'm sure that they could fit you on the bill.
Oh, I forgot. I really like that girl, that stand-up comic girl who's just like, Dad's Google history. Dad's Google history. Or the one who's like, where is my secret stash? Gonna fucking find it. What's her name?
I know who you're talking about. I cannot remember to save the life of me, but I'm so mixed with her. The first time I watched it, I hated it so much, and then the next time I watched it, I loved it, and I think I'm back to hate at the moment. But she's done some other stuff around here. She's in a few TV shows and stuff on the ABC. But I right now she's in the bad books. But I think eventually she'll swap over.
The thing I like about her is just that she's the only person I've seen do something like different in stand-up comedy in fucking forever. Like, she found a way to do these weird little one-person sketches with like music and fucking dancing and costumes and shit. And I'm just like, God bless her. She's not just up there like telling the stories and fucking giving a TED talk about her day. Like so much stand-up is just the same. Like, so many jokes, so many stand-up jokes could come from any comedian. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, look, not everything anybody does is amazing. Like, we all fuck up. I mean, just listen to me on this podcast. But like, I give her a lot of credit for breaking the format.
She's doing something different, for sure.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Look, well, we hope to see you down here one day.
Look, crazy
That's
homeless people are also doing something different. Oh, I'll be there. I will eventually have to run away from America. like eventually I'm going to have to hide. And so a lot of people, so it's like, I might be down there at your embassy requesting sanctuary, like just any week now. So expect me, guys. I'll be there.
Well, there's always a spot on my couch for you to crash on, and that's an absolute promise. And I would just love
God bless you.
And I would just love to thank all our lovely wankers out there. Our fans are called wankers, by the way. We'd love to thank, and for all your wanking needs, please follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you'd like to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, record it on your phone or email us at weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com. Asterios, it was an absolute pleasure, a privilege, and absolutely surreal to have you on the show. So thank you so much.
Thank you for being cool.
And we will see all you lovely wankers next Thursday.
Peace.
I still can't
believe.
All right,
I'm so sorry. I actually really I'm sorry. I have to go because I'm due on Sriracha's Twitch stream very soon.
Oh, do it.
All right, I'll talk to you later. It was great talking to you.
No, thank you. I'll let you know when everything comes out. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and,
I'll tweet it.
Yeah, give us a shout out if you can. Woo!
I will. Just email me when. Email me when it comes out.
Yep.
And I'll fucking retweet it. I can't wait. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Awesome. Thank you so much.